Hello, my loves. This is Malayla with Love and Light Starseed Tarot. Welcome. Today I'm going to do a reading for Scorpio and their person. These are timeless messages, so whenever you click on the reading, it's meant for you. This is for Sun, Moon, or Rising in Scorpio. What's the overall energy between these two, please? Angel, spirits, guides, please show us. 10 of Wands. The Hanged Man. Pisces. 9 of Cups. And the 8 of Cups. Yeah, so someone's in limbo here. Someone's, at a standstill as far as moving forward towards their 9 of Cups, to, their wishes, their dreams. There's an ending here. Ending of a heavy cycle, heavy burden, right? But you're walking away. You're walking towards, all the things that you want at this time. You're not allowing anyone to keep you stuck or hanging in limbo. What is your energy? 7 of Wands. 4 of Coins and the King of Cups. Yes, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. But yeah, you have strong boundaries. You're holding back your energy, time, resources from anyone who's not down for the ride. Anyone who's not on your team. Anyone who's not on your side, right? You are sitting on your throne. You know what you want. I'm just getting that, you're seeing that it's better to let go of, anything that you can't control. Knowing that you're only able to control a few things in your life. It's not worth it to hang on too tightly. We can only control what we put into our body as far as food, chemicals, what we watch, any media, what we intake, right? And we can only control our reactions, and what we say, and our reactions. You can't control everything. And, if you hold on too tightly, it feels like you're being pulled along, behind a boat. Like if you're water skiing. They say first thing to do when you're water skiing, if you fall, to let go of the rope, right? You don't want to hang on too tightly because you get dragged and you get hurt, right? Sometimes it's better to just walk away or let go. Let go and let God. What is their energy, please? 10 of Cups. 10 of Swords. Yeah, so either an ending is happening or did happen as far as a family dynamic. There was a lot of pain here. Or they do need to let go of the pain, or of, this could even be extended family. But there's a lot of betrayal and hurt and pain around a family dynamic. How do you see them? Ace of Swords. 5 of Cups. Yeah, so this person has a lot of regrets, a lot of depression, sorrow, sadness. They could be in lack mentality, but also playing the victim. This person needs to communicate their truth. Whether it's with you or a family member. But they're feeling a lot of sadness and depression because of feeling like they can't communicate the truth. How do they see you? 7 of Swords, the King of Pentacles, and the Strength. So we have Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and Leo energy. So they see you as being very strategic in your plans and your moves. As far, this could be at work or career, you know, just making money in general. But they see that you've come a long way. You have the strength and courage now, you know, to get where you want to go, to do all the things that you want to do. I'm just getting, you know, you could be changing a career or just changing the way you do things, you know, as far as, you know, you could be changing your diet or your eating schedule or your habits. You know, you could be wanting to, you know, live a more healthy lifestyle, and you're taking, you know, the actions towards that. You know, and seeing, you know, what you focus on grows. How do you, hold on, how do you feel about them? How do you feel about them, please? 6 of Swords and the 3 of Cups. Yeah, so this person could be going out. They could be, you know, going out with friends or drinking. But you definitely want brighter days, calmer waters. You know, maybe you want to go, maybe you want to go out on a date and get together with this person. How do they feel about you? The Ace of Cups and the 9 of Wands. Yeah, they definitely feel like you were a wounded warrior, and you came through the fire. You've done the hard things, you know, and there's a lot of love here. You know, this person's love and emotions are overflowing. You know, maybe they want to bring you a new offer, you know, a new beginning, but they see you've been through it. You know, and they feel regretful and sad and remorse for the things that happened in the past. What are your actions in the 3D? The Sun in reverse? Temperance. Let's get one more. What are your actions? Yeah, the Chariot. Yeah, so I don't see that you're giving this person any of your energy. You're not giving them your warmth, your nurturing, loving, kind nature, because it's been a long time. You know, you've been very patient. You've waited. You've, you know, done the work. You've done the healing, but, you know, you're moving forward because, again, you're not gonna wait around forever. What are their actions in the 3D? The Fool and the 2 of Cups. Yeah, so they definitely want to take a new leap of faith here with a soulmate. You know, they could definitely think that you're a soulmate and wanting to, you know, start over, start anew, you know, walk down a new path, head in a new direction, you know, because there's a lot of love here. What are your messages towards them? That's too many. What are your messages towards them? The World. Knight of Cups. Yeah, you are wanting a new cycle. You want romance. You want love. You want, you know, someone who's emotionally stable, emotionally balanced. You know, you definitely want to start a new cycle with love, right? You want a strong foundation. You know, I'm hearing, you know, your words are spells. You know, so be careful what you say. Be careful what you wish for. It might just come true. What are their messages towards you? 8 of Swords. Queen of Swords, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. So I just feel like this person, because of their words, you know, because of the things that they say, it keeps them stuck, keeps them in mental imprisonment. You know, you have to just be careful of how you communicate, what you say, the intentions behind it, because it could be to your growth and success, or it could be to your own detriment. What is the outcome, please? King of Wands and 7 of Cups. Yeah, we have fire signs out, Aries, Leo, Sag. But, you know, I'm getting you have a lot of choices, but you want to choose creativity. You want to choose passion. You know, I'm just also hearing, you know, as far as if you're changing your diet or your routines or your habits, you know, to remember, you know, we are what we eat, right? We are what we consume, as far as even if it's media or, you know, listening to toxicity. You know, you are what you consume. You know, make sure you're because there's a lot of options out there, right? As far as what you consume, as far as it's, you know, food or any kind of interferences or media. You know, just be careful. Read the nutrition labels. You know, maybe you're wanting to meal prep or, you know, work out more, make a new regimen. You know, there's many options out there. You have to just be, you know, choose wisely. Use discernment. Use knowledge. You know, humans don't need to eat 3 times a day, 3 meals a day plus snacks. I mean, that's just the government controlling us and telling us, you know, what we need to do. Right? That you know better. You only need to eat when you're hungry. Right? We don't need to consume and take in all the options just because they're available to us. Right? We need to be smarter than the problem. What is the advice, please? 4 of Swords. Page of Pentacles. I'm going to get one more. 7 of Pentacles. Yeah, definitely take time to rest when you need to rest. You know your body better than anyone. You know when it's time to move. You know when it's time to put in the work and the effort. You know when you need to get your ducks in a row. You know, it's about listening to your internal nudges and knowing when to stop and take a rest as well. I'm going to get messages of love for this connection, please. This could be from you or your person. Take it how it resonates. Integrity. Does this situation align with your values and morals? Different pages. You and this person don't share the same vision. I'm also going to get a numerology card. Whoa. That's just... I didn't even have time to shuffle, but I'm going to take the top one. 2020. Compassion. Mercy. Diplomacy. Potential. Service. Recovery. Adaptability. Renewal. It is a confirmation that your assumptions and beliefs are correct. But it's also an encouragement to use your talents and gifts because they will benefit the world and your pockets. Be of service to others. Your potential is enormous. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.